So in life, our pain accumulates if we don't deal with it. And it leaves on our soul. What is the soul, woman of God? It is the mind, it is the emotions, and it is your will. No wonder you will to do something, but you do something different, because the will that actually has most power at this point is the one imprinted on your soul, reflecting the past life you used to have. Woman of God, what happens when soul wounds are not addressed? People walk in depression. People walk in offense. People walk in anxiety. People walk in self-blame and unforgiveness because of things that happened in the past. You do something, you blame yourself. You do something, now you're struggling to forgive yourself. How am I a Christian and I keep doing this? You don't like it. You don't. After you've done it, you feel so bad. You feel so bad. Now you're walking in self-blame because you've got a soul wound that you are failing. You are failing to work on. You walk in bitterness. You are a tongue-speaking Christian that is bitter. Bitter towards your father. Bitter towards your aunt that did something to you. Bitter for the way he treated you. Soul wounds, imprints left on the mind, the will, and the emotions of a man that he does not give over to God. So some people, they become negative people. Have you ever been in the local church and you've seen somebody so negative? They're so pessimistic. They don't believe good can come out of life. Anytime something is happening, if you ask them what they think is the worst. But they're saved. They've been saved for a decade. Someone in the comment section right now is saying, woman of God, you are talking about me. I am pessimistic. If there is something happening, I think the worst. I don't like it. I don't like this life. It's a burden to live. But that's who I am. I just am a negative person by nature. If something is happening, I think the worst before I think the best. What's happened? Life experiences have imprinted themselves on your mind, on your will, and your emotions. Now you are a negative person by nature. What happens when soul wounds are not addressed? People develop a perpetual lack of trust in others. You don't believe that humanity is good. You're dating someone right now, but you're constantly trying to find them out because you always believe someone is cheating on you. Always believe somebody's trying to betray you. Always believe that people are out to get you. Have you ever worked in corporate with somebody that believes that people are out to get them? Have you ever worked with someone on a project that thinks people are out to get them? If you try to give constructive criticism, oh, you better brace yourself. Oh, you better brace yourself. You can't tell them anything because they are defensive. They don't trust that people are actually want what's best for them. Those people will fight you to the ground to prove they are correct. Some of you are dating them right now, those people. Some of you are dating people like those right now. You can never give them any constructive criticism, because what happens when soul wounds are not addressed? People have a heightened lack of trust. It's not from discernment. It's not from wisdom. It's pure, just pessimism. Then people become lonely because they create walls around them to protect themselves. I was betrayed in my childhood, so now I've created walls so high that not even those that love me can jump over. The walls are so high that even genuine friendships can't access you. The walls around you are so high that even people that genuinely want to love you and want to be there for you and want to minister, help you and just be there for you. People sent into your life to minister to you can't even access you because You have a lack of trust, and now you are lonely. Billionaires, millionaires, living in fancy houses, lonely because they can't trust anybody. The life experiences that they have gone through have left an imprint on their will, their mind, and their emotion, their soulish faculty, and they've never dealt with it. Haven't given it to Jesus in prayer, haven't gone to therapy. And sometimes I believe in therapy and Jesus, because no amount of therapy can do what Jesus can do. I love therapy. It allows you to get vocabulary for what you're going through. It allows you to find certain things and unpack certain things. But oh boy, I believe me in some Jesus. Oh, I bank on Jesus any day. Therapy and Jesus. Therapy and Jesus. Never do therapy without Jesus. So now people have a lack of trust because soul wounds have not been addressed. Now people are lonely because they've built walls around themselves to protect themselves. Then people now begin to struggle even with intimacy and vulnerability. Some of you dated these people. You couldn't get anything out of them. You dated them for a year. You walked out of that relationship with such basic knowledge about them. They would never tell you anything deep. They kept you on the surface for a whole year. You ask questions, they find ways to evade those questions. I don't know if I'm communicating to somebody. God bless you, Komoto. May God increase where you've taken. Somebody says you're talking to me in the comment section. God bless you, patience. Someone is saying, thank you, Lord. You took me out of that hole and gave me a new heart and life. That's right. God bless you, patience. God bless you, chosen one. Somebody says, completely, woman of God. I hear you. Yeah. A whole year wasted. Someone says you're communicating, woman of God. Someone says you're talking to me. So now you're struggling with intimacy and you're struggling with vulnerability. I'm dating this man, woman of God. I met him in the church. He's a drummer. Oh, he's a keyboard player. They're always drummers or keyboard players. Do I have a drummer or a keyboard player here? I met him in the church. He seems to love the Lord. Everything seems okay at the beginning, but I can't get anything out of this man. God bless you, Cece. I can't get any information out of this man. His walls are so high, I can't access him. How can people love you if they can't access your heart? How can people love you if they can't access your heart? Somebody says this is causing I think they want to say this is happening in my marriage. It says my husband has a wound that wasn't healed. That's right. It could be a childhood wound. It could be a wound inflicted in a corporate politicking war that happened. We've got to learn to unpack our hearts to God, or else we will go around carrying soul wounds, hurting ourselves and hurting others. Some of you begin to experience jealousy and you don't know where it's coming from. The faculty of your emotions has been hijacked by soul wounds. You are jealous of people that are traveling at a faster pace than you. Who am I speaking to this morning? Who am I speaking to this afternoon? Who am I speaking to this evening? Somebody says, I'm wounded. I don't know how to forgive. I always feel used. That's right. What happens when a soul wound is not addressed? You experience rejection. You always feel rejected. You always react emotionally to life because the faculty of your emotions has been hijacked by pain. And these soul wounds begin to hijack even the faculty of your belief about life in general. You just become a very pessimistic person. You just believe life in general is not meant for you. Some of you begin to experience abandonment. You always feel like people abandon you. and you become unforgiving in life. Prayer governance, this can even affect your relationship, not only with people, but with God. When soul wounds are not dealt with, they can begin to affect your relationship even with God.